Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the real engine that powers pretty much all of modern software. It's called CI/CD. It's this invisible force that lets the digital world change and improve, sometimes literally right before our eyes. So let's dive in. I mean, really think about it for a second. You wake up and boom, there's a new feature on your phone, a bug is fixed, the whole interface just feels a little slicker. How on earth do companies push out these constant improvements so fast and so smoothly without everything just breaking? Well, the secret is to imagine a kind of sophisticated, fully automated assembly line for code. It's this digital factory that takes a developer's idea and, in a series of steps, turns it into a working feature in your hands. And sometimes this all happens in just a matter of minutes. But, to really appreciate just how amazing this modern marvel is, we first have to take a look back at how things used to be. And trust me, it wasn't pretty. Oh man, before all this automation, making software was just a slow, painful process. We're talking releases that could take months, sometimes even years. All the testing, done by hand, which meant, you guessed it, bugs were constantly slipping through to the users. But the worst part, the absolute worst, was that integration chaos at the end, where everyone would try to merge their code at the very last minute, and it would just lead to a total meltdown right before launch. It was incredibly high risk and just so inefficient.
Thankfully, all of that chaos led to a truly brilliant solution, the automation revolution, powered by CI/CD. This concept didn't just improve things, it completely rewrote the rules for how software gets made.
So at its heart, a CI/CD pipeline is really just that, an automated process. It's a set of rules and tools that all work together to get code from a developer's computer all the way to a live app, completely replacing those slow, risky manual steps with pure speed and reliability. So let's break down what those letters CI and CD actually stand for.
Okay, first up is CI, or continuous integration. This part is all about one thing, making sure that new code from all the different developers on a team can always work together, harmoniously.
The core idea here is actually really simple. Instead of waiting for weeks or months to combine these huge, risky chunks of code all at once, developers merge small changes into a shared place, multiple times a day. This frequent integration is the absolute key to keeping things stable. And here's where you see that automation just kick into gear. The second a developer commits some new code, the pipeline automatically wakes up, it builds the entire project, runs a whole suite of automated tests, and if anything breaks, the developer gets an alert immediately, not weeks later when they've forgotten what they even wrote. This constant instant feedback loop catches bugs super early and keeps the main codebase healthy at all times.
Okay, so that's CI. Now let's move to the second half, CD, and see how this builds on everything. This is where things get really, really powerful. But there's a subtle but super important distinction to understand here. You see, CD can stand for two slightly different things. So the crucial point is all about that final step. With continuous delivery on the left, every single change that passes all the automated tests gets packaged up and is made totally release ready. But, and this is the key, the final push to production is a manual one-click button press. Now, on the right, you have continuous deployment. This is the ultimate level of automation. If the code passes the tests, it goes straight to production, period. No humans involved in that last step. So why? Why go through all the trouble to set up these complex, automated factories? What's the real benefit here? Well, the payoff isn't just big, it is absolutely massive. Just let that number sink in for a moment. At Amazon, new code goes live to their website on average every 11.6 seconds. This isn't just about being fast. This is a fundamental, game-changing shift in how software is delivered. And this kind of speed is completely impossible without a world-class CI/CD pipeline. And all that speed leads to these incredible benefits. Features get to users way faster. All that constant automated testing means higher quality software with way fewer bugs. Your developers get to spend their time actually writing code, not wrestling with manual deployments. And because you're releasing tiny incremental changes, the risk of a major failure just plummets. If something does go wrong, it's so much easier to pinpoint and fix it right away.
So let's put it all together now. Let's take a look at what one of these modern software factories actually looks like in the real world, in action. Okay, so here's a really common setup. A developer pushes their code to a repository, something like GitHub.
This push automatically triggers a CI server like Jenkins, think of it as the factory foreman, which immediately starts building and testing the code. If everything passes, the code gets packaged into a portable Docker image. You can think of that like a standardized shipping container for the application. That container is then deployed to a system like Kubernetes, which is built to manage and run thousands of these containers at a huge scale. The entire journey from code to customer is automated.
And who relies on this? Well, basically every major player in tech. Netflix uses it to constantly improve your viewing experience, often without you even noticing. We already talked about Amazon's just unbelievable pace. And Google's most essential products, from search to maps to Gmail, are all built on some of the most sophisticated CI/CD systems on the entire planet.
And this brings us to a final, pretty big thought. In a world where every business, from banking to retail to healthcare, is really a software business now, the pipeline that delivers that software is no longer just some technical tool. It's become the core engine of innovation itself, which really raises a critical question, doesn't it? Is the CI/CD pipeline actually the most important machine in the modern economy?